What's up, everybody? Welcome to Off the Rails, a recovery podcast dedicated to ending the stigma of addiction through open discussion on all things recovery related. I'm Mark, and with me always is Dave and Jared. So, fellas, how are we doing this week? What's happening?
Good week. It's a beautiful Monday. So for myself, last week I spent it kind of in isolation with some COVID crap, but try to stay busy and sauna and hot tub and applying for jobs. So that was kind of how I spent most of my week.
That's not a bad week.
Yeah, that seems pretty awesome. I'm doing pretty good, I'd say. Just busy working and moved all last week, so that was a little stressful, but all done now and on to the new chapter here.
Sweet.
What about yourself, Mark?
Oh man, the week was great. Man, although I have had a using dream every single night this week. Every night for the last week, I have dreamt about doing blow, and it's been horrible. I can't make it up. I wake up every morning and I'm like, thank fucking God that wasn't real. Every morning.
What's crazy? I was telling Jared, so Jared and I have our but obviously listeners know we have a call once a week together with our counselor. And I was just saying there, that's the first time I had like a sobriety dream. So I didn't have like a drinking dream, which I had before, or I've had plenty before. It was more of a sobriety where I was telling someone about how I was like 2 months sober or something, which was kind of weird and different.
Incredible.
I've yet to have that.
Yeah.
The sobriety one.
I've been waking up feeling like hungover after like a drinking dream or something. I feel hungover. It's kind of messed up.
Yeah. Last night, like in my dream, after I used, I was so I had that like deep guilt and like I was ashamed of myself, and I was just like, you just wasted 130 days. Like I was beating myself up in my dream, and that's how real it was. I was just like so ashamed of myself, and then like anyway, I woke up.
Do you ever have one? Do you ever have one of those? But then you like wake up, but you're waking up in your dream still.
Yep.
So then you're just like, yeah, it's messed up, and then you wake up, like actually wake up.
Yeah.
It's kind of wild.
The dream.
Well, at least it was just a dream, or a nightmare, if you want to call it that.
Yeah. Oh, they're terrifying. Did you guys have them where when you first got into recovery, did you have them where you'd go to like have a drink and then you'd wait, like you didn't get to taste the drink?
I think back, so. like back in first in recovery.
Yeah, like you couldn't get your drink in.
I don't remember, to be honest with you.
I thought you'd wake up.
Well, yeah, you just would never have that drink in your dream. I've had them where I would pour out some low, and it would pour into water or something. It would just go to shit, and I'd be like, oh God, no. And I wouldn't be able to do it. And then eventually you were able to do it in your dreams. And now eventually I'm just beating myself up in my dream for doing it. And maybe I'll be going to rehab in my dreams soon.
Hey, as long as the reality and you're staying sober, eh?
Yes.
That's pretty wild though, how messed up addiction could really be, like even when you're trying to quit or when you're quit.
Even thinking about it in your it's crazy.
Yeah. I know, like even at work sometimes when I'm getting frustrated, I'm like, oh, it'd be nice to have a beer right now. And then I'm like and then I have to play the tape through and what would happen if I drank? And then I'm like, yeah, my family would fall apart again. My life would be over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Yeah, have those weird thoughts even though you really don't want to do it.
Yeah. Shit, yeah, every day too. It's nuts.
Yeah. It's a battle.
Yeah. So other than the dreams, my week has been great. Attended meetings. Yeah, that's it. Getting a lot of work done with you guys. And yeah, I can't wait to continue making videos and podcasts.
Nice.
What do you say, Jared?
I was going to say, how about that Cincinnati game on Saturday?
What a year to jump on the Bengals bandwagon.
Oh, all over the Bengals.
Oh, all thanks to Dave.
What about the Bills game last night? Never mind. That was insane.
Yeah.
Well, I got like 3 channels here staying at my mom's house, so that's nice. And I got 3 channels here, so I've been watching minimal sports. It's great.
So you didn't miss anything.
Yeah. All right. Shit. Yeah. So we this is episode after we all told our life stories. And I don't know if you guys felt the same way, but I had a lot of mixed emotions after, kind of telling my story and getting it out there. Is there anything in particular you guys felt, or like, I know over the next day, I like personally felt like vulnerable. And I was a bit nervous, and I don't know why, because, I want this to be like a platform for people to be able to share their stories and, kind of make a difference in people getting better. So I can't expect people to come and tell their stories if I am not willing to do it myself and talk freely about what I've been through. So I had to keep like reminding myself of that. And I don't know if you guys felt the same way or not. So you guys care to elaborate at all on how you felt?
Yeah, I mean, likewise, I think it's normal. I think it's only natural to like not really want to put yourself out there, right? Like, I mean, when we're starting this podcast, we're all kind of fresh at this. I don't really like listening to my own voice. Like, no one likes that. So that's just your own voice, not let alone like your like whole life story of addiction, right? So yeah, I was definitely like, after doing it, recording it, I was, it felt good, but at the same time, I was pretty nervous about, people hearing it. And then, I was looking for some feedback from my sisters. So I sent them like Mark's story and Jared's story, but I didn't send them my story. I was like, I don't want you to listen to it. And then my one sister said, can you send me yours? So I sent it to her. And that's the one whose house I pissed on her floor that night. And so she just texted me and said, where'd you piss in my house? I was like, oh, I forgot you were going to hear that part. So anyway, yeah, but it was definitely like, it was refreshing. It's, it's nice that's out there. And the only other thing I was thinking is just, people that are going to hear it for the first time, that are close friends and even family members that'll probably hear it online before even knowing that I went and got help or that I had an issue. Right. So those people, especially the ones that are close to me, I hope they don't feel slighted in any way, but it's just not something that came up in conversation with them, and something I didn't really want to broadcast everywhere, to just call people and kind of tell them what's going on. You know what I mean? So it's nice it's out there now, and I'm looking forward to some people listening and hopefully being able to relate to anyone's story, right? So
absolutely, man. Jared, what about yourself, man? How did it make you feel?
What? I don't know. It was weird because I don't really. I've said it a lot probably on here already, but I don't give a fuck what people think. But,
oh, really?
Really? Yeah.
but those thoughts still do cross my mind. Like, oh, because I used to back in the day, really. Everything would be I do to make people think different of me or the way I wanted to be thought of. You know what I mean? So I kind of had those kind of thoughts, but other than that, yeah, I don't give a fuck what anyone thinks. And I felt good to share it. And I'm hoping that other people can relate. And I think I left lots of key things out, which I'm sure will come up throughout the podcast. So
Yeah,
that's how I felt. I felt pretty good.
Yeah, I know I definitely left a couple things out that I should have included. And again, like you mentioned, we'll get to that throughout the episodes.
Yeah, likewise. I think the other thing that's nice too is that, like, we're all, like, three of us are fresh into the recovery. So it's not like we got 10 years under our belt and telling our story. So it's kind of, I think it could be nice for people that are also fresh out of it, or a year into it or 2 year into it, and maybe helps them kind of share their story without feeling any kind of shame in it, right? So
yeah, absolutely. That's a great point.
Yeah.
And even me, my brain's still a complete mess and a fog with, like, it's clear, but definitely not where it should be yet after a lot of drug and alcohol abuse for the last 10 years. So bear with me. I might be stuttering and
you'll get there, man.
And get all over the map. So
I found honestly, like, every day you can feel your brain just, like, get a little sharper. I don't know if you guys feel that way or not, but I know especially in those, like, first 30 days, it's remarkable watching, like, your coordination come back and, like, shit, man, Dave. Oh man. Oh, Dave throwing baseball. Holy moly.
Or the first couple of games of ping pong.
Yeah.
I remember playing catch with Mark. It must have been like day
Mark was a seasoned
something.
veteran there, though. That was the second go around.
Yeah. And that's also made me nervous.
Yeah.
And I'm throwing. All I remember is, like, throwing the ball and, like, throwing it to you, and it's like I forgot how to throw a baseball, and it was just going into the dirt. And I'm like, oh man, this guy's gonna think I'm just such a loser.
No, it was remarkable.
I got it back though. I felt
in no time. It was crazy. Right. But that's, like, the changes that it makes in those, like, man, that must have been a week, right? You went from literally throwing it to, like, 5 feet in front of me to to being able to toss them.
You know what's hilarious too is when you're drinking, you probably thought you were actually playing sports better, and then you go to being sober and you can't even throw a ball.
Yeah. Man,
like, I thought I could do everything better when I was drinking. Everything, like study, do everything, school.
Mm-hmm.
And in the reality, you can't really do anything better.
Yeah, no doubt.
It's just your fucked up brain thinking. So
yeah, you're justifying it, I guess.
Yeah.
Dave, were you gonna jump in there?
Oh, I was just gonna say it's because you mostly, like, you actually probably weren't bad. At least I know for myself, it's like, you have a few drinks and play, whatever beach game or whatever, volleyball. You're actually probably okay, but it's because you're doing it always when you're drunk, and then you try doing something sober, and it's like you haven't been sober to do the activity, so you don't know how to use your body properly because you're now uncoordinated.
Oh man, I was hanging out with my buddies on Saturday night, and we were talking about golf, and my one buddy was, like, telling me a story. I cracked a pint at like 7 a.m. Going up the first hole, and he looked over at my other buddy and he's like, "Is he having a pint right now?" And my one buddy's like, "Yeah, that's probably not even his first." so clearly there's a problem.
Yeah, no doubt. Another thing, yeah, I was kind of, like, hesitant too when I told my story about like people listening to it and judging it, because, like, I wish I could say that I don't give a fuck what people think, but I actually, like, I do, and I don't love that about myself, but I do care what people think, and I keep having to, like, remind myself that anyone who judges, like, what we're doing, chances are needs a bit of help himself, really. But I don't know. It took me a while to get over that, and now I don't really care. I've talked myself out of it.
I don't think it's really caring what they think. I think it's like care, or if they think, I don't know, if they're chirping that you're doing something like this or you're opening up about your life, but it's all really to help other people and yourself. So
yeah,
that's
exactly.
more of the way you got to think about it.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like if you're chirping it or whatever, then like what are you actually really chirping if you're trying to help people?
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right.
And plus this also helps all of our recovery too. So
Absolutely, man.
Big time.
Say what you want. I don't think any of us give a fuck.
Man, what do you guys find best parts of your recovery?
Jared, you want to start us off there?
Start. I think, well, one, the stress levels are just way down. Like just not having to hide anything or being open and honest about everything is nice. And yeah, getting along with everyone. It's good. And also being sober is pretty awesome too. Spending lots of time with my daughter.
More quality time, more meaningful time, would you say?
Yep, being present and stuff like that. Actually remembering things. And I like the one thing I always wanted, she was older and called me at like in the middle of the night, I would never want to say I was drunk and couldn't come help or something like that. So I'm looking forward to that kind of stuff.
Do you notice it all, Jared? Like, can you remember back when you were drinking a lot and whatever, maybe it was like going to the park with your daughter or something like that, and the difference in your energy level, whether it's that or playing dolls with her or whatever it is, like, can you remember back to like thinking, oh fuck, I don't want to do this because I'm tired from drinking, and now you got more energy?
Yeah. I'd just lay on the couch all the time on my phone, be lazy. Sorry. Getting interrupted.
That's it, man. It's dad life.
But yeah, what?
That's that dad life.
Yeah. No, but I think I don't know. I still don't have the energy that I would like to have, but I think that'll just take time. I got these friggin' gyms got to open up so I can go. I think that'll help a lot.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm not into the home workout stuff.
It's tough. Eh?
Oh, it is. I gotta like go. That's like the online meetings. I can't do them. I have to go. So
yeah, I was trying to
distracted.
I was trying to do a few like at these bands I'll try to use, and then I was like down doing some sit-ups the other day, and my parents' dog just came. It's a Bernese Mountain Dog, and just bear paw right on my face, and just like scratched me down the face. I'm like, all right, workout's over. It's like, yeah.
How about you, Mark?
My best parts of recovery?
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm thinking clarity is one of them for sure. Just like I feel so much more sharp and like, you're thinking clear. You're not making choices based on, your addiction, and you start putting everything that you previously put your drug of choice before, right? So we used to compare it to like kind of clutching a gas pedal, right? So during addiction, your drug of choice, so like Coke to me started coming before every value that I had. And to me, one of the best parts is watching Coke fall, and then the things that I love start to go back up, right? So you're talking like your family, your friends, relationships, things you love doing, exercising, all that starts coming back in your life again. You start becoming passionate and you're feeling again. And to me, that's probably one of the best things. Also, I think we touched on this the other day. Time. I don't know about you guys, but like the last 4 months to me has seemed like, not that it's been long, it's been a good long, right? Like I look back at the last 4 months and I'm like presently there the whole time. compared to, say, the previous 2 years where like it's a fucking blur in my brain, which is terrifying. And do you guys feel that?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's fucking
100%.
crazy, man.
Yeah.
So
Well, you think about.
I can't believe how much time I've wasted. Time, money.
Yeah, you can beat
brain cells
on that. Right?
Yeah.
But
it's
so
just
nice
wild
now, just being like, shit, man, you can do so much in 4 months. It's crazy. And yeah, that's the time. Yeah, how time feels.
That's well said.
Thanks, buddy. Dave, what are your thoughts?
I agree with all of it. That's what I was thinking too.
Yeah, I can definitely relate to the time thing. And I think I might have mentioned it before, and that was kind of the scary thing about one day at a time. Before, to me, was just like, it just seemed like such a process. And now it's like, now that you're enjoying your days, it seems like, a reward, like one day at a time is a reward when you're spending your days like how we're spending them now, or, like you said, last 4 months, you can really remember and reflect on your 4 months instead of, your last 4 months of, for me, drinking heavily and blacking out to go to bed every night. And, how many of those hours you're actually blacked out for, how many you don't remember, and how many you feel like shit for. No wonder why you don't remember your days, right? You don't really want to. So I can definitely relate to that, and definitely being present as well. Like, being, when you're in a room, actually being in a room instead of just kind of being a shell of a person standing there, not really absorbing anything and not really kind of participating at times and whatnot. So, it's something I'm, still working on, I would say. Like, even if I look at my nephews, I got 3 young nephews here, and before going away, I was definitely like, that shell of an uncle, not really spending time. If I was hanging out a little bit, it was very minimal, because I was just whatever, right? Didn't care too much. Not that I didn't care about them. I was tired or whatever it was. And now I feel like a little more energy, and I just enjoying the day, and it's just a lot easier to do it. I don't know. I'm not really explaining that very well, but I think you get what I'm saying.
I do.
No, and then not wasting money and not wasting time drinking is definitely also nice. Yeah.
Yeah, I have the I Am Sober app, which like shows you like your days, your sober days, and like how much money you've saved and stuff like that. And it's incredible.
What do you have? Yeah. How much money have you saved? No, maybe we'll talk.
We'll probably do a full episode on that. On that, man.
I think I have an idea anyway.
Yeah, how much we've wasted. But, trying to be, we'll do a full episode on just stupid shit we spend money on in addiction. So those were the best parts of our recovery. And what do you guys find the hardest?
I was just about to say that. You want me to I'll go.
Yeah, go, Jared. Give her.
I find the hardest is dealing with my stress, because I'm always known to deal with my stress by just drinking. And then it takes it all away. So that is the hardest, and I'm still working on that, like trying to communicate, which I'm not good at yet. But just working on that stress. That was the key thing to my addiction, I think, was stress. So anytime I get stressed, it's a red flag, and I need to just sit down and relax and just talk about it, or else that's when my life will start falling apart if I don't. So that's the hardest part.
Dave, what about yourself?
I definitely can relate to that. I would always deal with a lot of stress by by drinking. So I just shut down and drink. And, you know, sometimes I don't know about you guys, but like, I don't know if I manifested things too, like, because I like drinking so much that you start manifesting stress to come into your life because you want to drink more. So it's like an excuse and to get loaded. So that's not happening. I find now, like I'm not manifesting the stress, and I don't know for sure if I was doing it before or not, but I could see that could happen. That could have happened in the past. So yeah, actually having to face it and having to deal with it, having to communicate and talk about it is new for me, and so it's been a challenging, but it's a work in progress, like kind of like Jer said. You know, I've been thankful and grateful a little bit on how I've been able to kind of come out of Newgate, out of rehab, and where I'm not working. So I mean, it's a blessing, and at times, sometimes, you know, it's not great not working, but it's allowed me to have fewer stresses in my life. So that part's been nice. I can kind of focus on my mental health and my physical health, and doing the little things to keep working on my recovery. So, and social gatherings, I think, will be, you know, another thing that's challenging. And I haven't done a whole lot of that. I've been isolated a little bit, not in a bad way, I should say, though, being up north in the wintertime. So I've been mostly just around family, but, you know, generally social gatherings for me is another thing that would trigger wanting to drink, and after hockey would as well. But hockey's been shut down, so that's another thing I haven't had to deal with, fortunately and unfortunately. So, yeah, I just basically anytime I want to taste a good beer, it can be challenging at times. So, that's what I find challenging. Yeah. It's funny, actually, I was in the sauna the other day with my dad, and my dad cracked a like a can of sparkling water, and I had my eyes closed, and like all I could think of was like because I had so many beers in the sauna, just like I'm like,
euphoric recall.
Oh man, it's big time. I was like, yeah.
Oh man.
What about you, Mark?
And those are awesome points. I agree with the stress thing. To me, like I would use, as I mentioned, kind of to deal with like emotions and like not be able to feel, and you know, kind of learning how to understand those certain emotions and how to deal with them has been a challenge, but it's been worth it. Outside of that, I guess like where I'm in Ottawa, not being there, you know, for my girl Rebecca, she's like pregnant, and I'm not back there with her right now. I find that really difficult. You know, I beat myself up a lot for that, but we are moving to Alberta in March, so I'm happy about that, and I know I'm doing the right thing by being here and not jeopardizing my sobriety. So I think in the long run, like that'll be beneficial. So I find that very difficult. I also find kind of, you know, when you kind of get into recovery, you kind of got to distance yourself from certain people, and you know, you really got to put yourself first a lot of times. And I find that can, you know, also be difficult because, you know, I got a lot of good buddies who I love to death, but right now I can't be around them. And, you know, I find that hard. And but again, I know that I got to put myself first, and I'm not doing anything to jeopardize being sober. So yeah, those to me are the hardest things, without a doubt.
Have you had any of those tough conversations with those good buddies yet? Like reached out, or you reached out? And if you don't mind me asking, like just kind of.
Yeah, I have. You know, had a couple. I've only really kept in contact with like Rebecca and my family from home. You know, my buddies know that I came out here to go to rehab. You know, so I hope they understand that I'm working on myself and I'm trying to get better, you know. And to me, a real friend would understand that, you know. If we don't go a while without talking, doesn't mean I'm not there for them. But like, I can't be in certain people's lives if they're not ready to change and get better themselves, right? I don't know. Do you guys have buddies like that?
Yeah, I mean,
go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, yeah, for sure. I have some drinking buddies and things like that. It was a little easier for me, perhaps, because I had moved from Barrie to the Sioux and at the end of June. So I've kind of already, a lot of my good buddies from down south, distance wise, I'm not that close with them anymore anyway. And then a few of them in the Sioux, I would generally just visit when I was home. And of course we would, go out and have a bunch of beers, and I've seen them since I moved back from Barrie. But since I've been out of from Newgate, I have not really gone out with anyone or gone over to anyone's house yet or anything like that. And it's funny because I shared it with a couple buddies like that I was close with that, I wanted to stay in touch with in the Sioux, and I didn't know if I would, go over and have a coffee or whatever. But it's kind of funny how quiet your phone goes. You don't really hear from them, and they know you're not drinking. I told them I wasn't drinking, and it's like, oh, okay, and then kind of disappear. So which is okay.
Yeah,
it's all good. So
it's easy.
Yeah, it helps in a way. Actually, I should be thankful for that I don't have to put myself in the position to say no, I'm not going out, or no, I'm not coming over for beers or whatever. But at the same time, like, I think they'll be okay with it and respect that. It's just that's been our relationship, has been drinking together, right? So it's like we don't know how to socialize or do anything together without that. So
yeah, I had a couple, I had like friendships like that, and like still love the dudes to death. But like, what are you, you were still early in recovery, man. Like, it's not, you're talking about your life.
Yeah.
Made a couple good buddies in Newgate.
Yeah, the best.
Yeah, no doubt.
That was a good time, eh?
It's
a great time.
I went and hung out with most of my buddies are like, they're all understanding. And they wouldn't drink around me or anything, even in the summer while I was golfing, and none of them were even letting me drink. But as soon as I'd be done golfing, I would drink. But on Saturday there, I went and hung out with them, and no booze, no nothing. Just had dinner and watched the Bengals game. So it was pretty good. Yeah, it was good. Even my one buddy, he didn't message to me after I got back from Newgate, but I talked to him probably like a month after, and he's like, I didn't message you because you know how I am. So he knows that he doesn't want to put me in that situation. So everyone understands, which is good.
He's a big drinker. That's why.
I wouldn't say, like, I don't know.
Or he likes to have a good time.
Yeah.
All right. You guys have anything else you want to talk about?
From today, well, let me think here. Doing a fast right now. That's
me too.
It's been something.
Yeah.
Jerry, you want to jump on the fast with us?
I used to do the intermittent fasting.
That's what we're doing right now.
Are you?
It's getting better.
I'm good.
I can't wait till 12 o'clock tomorrow. Let me tell you.
Maybe next year.
Yeah, one thing at a time.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
All right, guys.
I think that's a wrap.
You or someone would like to be a guest on Off the Rails, hit us up in our information below. Thank you for listening.
Have a good one.